Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. I am always so happy to introduce our guests that we have on our show. And we've been over here laughing up a storm ahead of the broadcast. So if we're a little giggly, just hang with us. We're fine. We're doing really great today. It's Friday, guys. And as part of our Friday party today, we have a wonderful guest talking to us about, you guessed it, positivity, because couldn't we all just use a little bit more of that right about now? So, we have these shows, the Ladies Power Lunch show, and we do have a wonderful audience watching with us over on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. But I would invite you all to keep in mind that you have the opportunity to come on over and join the party over here on Zoom. It is always available to you, and when you join us on Zoom, what happens is we always post these on our YouTube channel. We always post them on LinkedIn. And sometimes they even get chosen by the one, the only Jim Williams as a podcast episode. And so who knows? You come on here, you introduce yourself and your business, even if you're not the speaker for the day, you introduce yourself, you introduce your business, and you have an opportunity to be shared to a number of different platforms and have a number of people connecting with you. So, want to welcome the people who've joined us today and get to introducing Dee and positivity in just a minute. But I want to say hi to Jen. Jen, say hi to us and tell us who you are and what it is that you do. Thanks so much for joining.
Hi, it's a pleasure being on. I don't usually get on Fridays because I'm working, but I got out a little early today. But I am so happy to be here and to have Dee as the speaker. And of course, it's always lovely to see you, Dr. Davia. I am a baker. Littlefinger Round LLC is my company. And I just finished some cookie orders and some hot crust buns. And
I saw
I
a
am
picture of the
sitting
hot cross buns. They looked delicious.
Thanks. I'm sitting actually right next to the shore, and the waves are crazy.
Oh,
So
yay.
that's my life.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Casey, I was wondering, are you in a position to introduce yourself at all?
Yeah, uh, I'm currently laying down because I just got my first COVID vaccine today. So feeling a little tired, but still feeling good. I'm Casey. I am an editor at Greenheart Living Press. I am also a senior musical theater major at Dean College in Franklin, Mass. And I will be graduating in May, which is really exciting.
Congratulations. Wonderful. So thank you, ladies, for joining us over here. And also want to say welcome to the ladies who have joined us over on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to our one or only Dee DiFatta. Dee, can you share with us who are you and what is it that you do in the world?
Oh, I am Dee DiFatta. I am a positivity coach and founder and CEO of A Dose of Positivity. I love what I do because I was not always this person. Um, I always had the positive demeanor, but I didn't feel it on the inside. And now I feel it in every ounce of my being, and I am looking to share this with others. So I know so many people go through life feeling stuck, and there's no need to be stuck. I know how to get out of it now. I'm like, yay! I'm so glad I took notes on how.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
Dee, tell us, who is your ideal client? I mean, I know a lot of us sometimes we don't feel like we're radiating that positive energy or we don't feel like it's coming from inside. But who are the people who are your clients?
People who want to change, people who are ready to change. And when I say ready to change, I mean move from who they've always been into who they want to become. Anybody who's in that transformation who's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to break out and break free. That's what I'm all about. And it's not about rainbows and unicorns and being positive all the time because transformation's not easy. You know, you go through icky feelings, and I'm all about owning your truth and feeling your feelings and, forgiving yourself for what you didn't know then that you know now, and then releasing it so that you can become who you were born to be. So yeah, it's not always like the happy-go-lucky, woohoo, love you too. And
So
yeah, there's so much more.
walk me through your client journey, because I want to make sure that we all understand, who it is that is the right kind of person who would get so much benefit from working with you. So when somebody comes in to work with you, what is the end goal that they're looking for?
They want to free themselves from feeling unworthy, undeserving, unloved, unaccepted.
Hmm.
What we don't realize, especially as women, is that we were born worthy, we were born deserving, we were born loved, and we were born accepting. But so many things have happened throughout our lifetime, and we've been so conditioned to believe that, we're not worthy. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, we are. And, trust me, I have struggled. I have been in survival mode. I have lived that life.
Well, tell us a little bit about that too. Like what brought you to this point? What brought you here where you are in a position to say, you know what, I've been there, I've done that, I can help you to change as well.
So, all of my lifetime, up until about 3 or 4 years ago, I was always the girl who wanted to fit in and be like everybody else. And I
Hmm.
realized one day that I was never going to fit in. I mean, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 27 years ago. And here I am ready to go to a wedding, and I'm all decked out in my dress and my hairs and my nails and my makeup in a wheelchair with my cooling vest and a bright orange neck collar on so that I could survive my day. And I'm like, yeah, I was never meant to fit in. But it's amazing how the universe sends you signs like that. And it's like, oh, I get it. It took me a long time, but I get it. Okay, I can do this. And not only that, but being in a wheelchair, and I'm not in a wheelchair all the time, but having to be pushed in a wheelchair and then having to embrace using a walker, whew, that was a lot for me. That was a lot for me. And, but I took it on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to redefine this walker. It's not a walker. Her name is Diva, and it's a little help from a friend. And my MS is no longer multiple sclerosis. It means to me motivational spitfire and magnificent strength, and also my story. And I went from walking around in victim mode to all of a sudden becoming this inspiration to others. They would see me and my demeanor changed. I was more confident and courageous because I was walking around with this walker. But before, I would have beat myself up saying, why? Why do I have to use this? Why does this have to happen to me? No, I changed the dynamic. I changed the definition. I didn't let it define me. I redefined myself and my circumstances, and it took me out of that negative place and kind of catapulted me on a whole new journey into positivity and perspective. And that's what I've embodied.
What was the biggest turning point for you, when you realized that you didn't want to be in victim mode anymore? What was it that really changed everything?
Knowing that I had free will, knowing that I had the power to choose. I never accepted that before in my past. I
How
always
did you
allowed.
know that? How did you suddenly come to that realization?
I went to my neurologist, and this was before I started using the walker. I was walking horribly. And I
Hmm.
said, don't even think about doing a walk test on me. I said, I can't right now. And he said, you realize if you keep going the way you're going, you're going to be in a wheelchair by the time you turn 60. And I'm talking full time. And then he told me about new medication and the side effects. I'm like, no, something has to change. Something has to change. And the common denominator was me. And I said, oh, okay, I have to change. So I went within and started journaling. And I'm like, I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to be a better person. Just because he told me I'm going to be in a wheelchair at 60 does not mean that I have to be in a wheelchair at 60.
Why
I
did you start journaling?
2014.
Hmm.
And
And
it was
why did journaling speak to you? Why was that a medium that you thought would be a good idea?
so when I journal, I work through issues that I have up here. And
Hmm.
comes down to my heart. And when I read back what I wrote, I'm like, whoa, the answers are there. They're always there for me. It never fails. Whether I'm addressing the universe, whether I'm addressing a part of my body, whether I'm addressing a particular circumstance in my life, when I start writing, the answers come out. I'm like, okay.
When did
So
you notice that was something that happened for you? When did you notice that that's how the universe communicates with you?
that was probably about 2 years ago because I've been
Mhm.
writing since 2014, and I didn't start getting the answers I was looking for until I changed the conversation with myself.
Mm.
Instead of just writing and just, writing and writing and writing and writing, I started writing with intention.
Okay.
And, and when you write with intention or when you act with intention, anything with intention just gives me better results. So I would ask the question, what am I supposed to do today? Like, what does my body need from me? What do I need in order to move forward? Who am I? What is it I'm supposed to do? And just by writing those questions out, I just kept writing. I kept my pen to paper, whether it was in the middle of the night, whether it was in the morning, it didn't matter when it was. I would just write and write and write and write. And it never failed. The most amazing sessions, writing sessions that I had were in the middle of the night. And I would go back and go, ooh, nice divine download. Thank you so much. So I've been sharing my stories on Facebook on my personal page, and it's been very intense because I was never one to share myself, my authentic self. I had on all kinds of facades and walls and barricades because I was afraid that I wouldn't be loved and accepted and validated for who I am.
Mhm.
And August 2020, all of a sudden, it's a huge revelation. I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what other people think of me. It only matters what I think of me. And I love myself. I accept myself. And I don't need a knight in shining armor. I'm here to save myself. So, yeah, making those choices, and trust me, they're not always easy to choose you because we're so used to giving and giving and giving and giving to others that it's hard to put ourselves first. But when I did put myself first, my world changed.
When you are talking to clients, what's the number one thing that you find that we all seem to stumble upon? The thing that we could all stand to do a deep dive on?
It's definitely things that we learned from our parents, like unconditionally learned from our parents. It never fails. Whether it be our relationship with money, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with, work, our job, it never fails. We learned it from our parents. Whether it's them saying, you have to work all the time, and you have to make money, and you have to support your family, and you as a woman are the caregiver, or you haven't done enough, you're not deserving, or if you stop, you're unworthy. It's like, oh my gosh, the stories, um, the baggage that we carry with us that's not even ours. So it's a lot of realizing where that came from. Where do those thoughts come from? Where do those negative thoughts come from that you're carrying with you through life? And how can you release them? How can you give them back and be like, this is not serving me anymore. Thank you. I don't need this in my life.
So, how do you work with your clients to help them to release these messages that they've been
Mhm.
carrying around for a really long time?
It's I have fundamental strategies that I help them with. First and foremost is awareness. Awareness is 50% of the battle.
Hmm.
So when I first have a conversation with them and I'm like, why are you here? What is your intention? What is it that you want to release to the universe? And they
Hmm.
tell me, I'm like, wow, where did that come from? So we start to work, where did that come from? And why do you think you're still carrying it with you? And then we work on breathing techniques and what you think you create, which is amazing because if you really think about that, it's like, ooh, I think I need to change my thoughts. And what you speak, you affirm. We work to come up with different language in our head and, verbally. We work on forgiveness and gratitude and, just embracing a whole new attitude about life. And it's amazing. After working with me, I can tell you that my clients have transformed. they've built a very strong foundation for their transformation. And I have just seen them grow wings and fly. So I love seeing the process. I love seeing the aha moments. The light goes on behind their eyes. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
What led you to actually going from what you used to do before to working with clients in this way now?
So I worked in the insurance agency for
Mhm.
17 years, and it was black, white, and gray. And I, don't get me wrong, I served a lot of people in that industry, not just as an employee of the company, but on a personal level, helping them sort through feelings and whatnot. And I was divinely guided. It was one of those, I started seeing numbers. And I know that sounds weird to some people, but angel numbers, I didn't even know that angel
Mhm.
numbers existed until I talked to someone, and then I started looking up angel numbers that I saw all the time. And it changed my world. And I said, wow. And then as I was at work in the insurance industry, I was like, okay, what do you want from me? Like there was one day I had a major breakdown that was the biggest breakthrough I ever had, because I finally said, I surrender. I surrender my agenda. I don't know what you want from me, but I surrender my agenda fully and completely. And I'm asking for guidance. What do you want from me? And it, oh boy, when I opened that can of worms, it was like the universe came at me with a 2x4 and they're like, yes, you're back. Let's talk. I'm like, oh God. So whether I started receiving messages through numbers or whether I started receiving messages through divine downloads, I was definitely connected to something I had been disengaged from for a very long time. And I followed their lead. Which was challenging for me.
Mhm.
Always coming from scarcity and lack and safety and security, it was very challenging for me to come from trust and belief and faith. And I'm like, okay. So I followed their lead, and I took the leap of faith on February 14th, 2020 to leave my full-time job and be an entrepreneur full-time, helping people realize their self-worth and all the beautiful things within them. It's just, oh, we are so full of beauty, and we are so strong, and we don't even realize the power that we have within. And, and sometimes people have issues with the word power, but that's because they've learned to have power over, or people have had power over them. It's a power within. It's a different kind of power. So yeah, just finding the peace within.
Finding the peace within.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us? Anything that you can, any guidance, any little hacks or tips or tricks that can help us to move forward with our lives in a more positive way?
Perspective. Definitely, whatever perception you have of the world today was based on your thoughts and beliefs and what you learned growing up. Always be open to new perspectives, always, because it kind of changes everything about your life. And actually, on that note, I definitely want to read a quote from my new book, and it's today's quote, and it means the world to me. And it just
What is
happened.
your new book? Tell us a little bit about your new book.
Oh, I love my new book. My new book, and I know this is going to show up backwards, but it is Your Daily Dose of Positivity. And this
Nice.
is 365 days of insights, inspiration, perspective, a new quote on each page. And the quote for today is, as changes occur in your life, trust that the universe is guiding you towards new beginnings that will be better aligned with your purpose and passion. So I want people to, oh, yay, Jen has it, woohoo! Awesome. Casey has it too. Casey was my brilliant editor. She's
Oh,
also my
wonderful.
daughter. Love her.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But
Oh, it's fun having your editor in your house.
yes, it does. Yeah, I know I've lived in victim mode for a long time, and I have found my way to victor mode, and it's amazing. And the other side is so beautiful that I don't want people to live in victim mode anymore. I want them to know that they have a choice. So if you're ready to move out of victim mode and be the victor you were meant to be, call me.
Awesome. And how can people connect with you?
They can connect with me via my Facebook page. They can connect with me via LinkedIn, or they can connect with me via my website, which is a dose of positivity, DEE.com.
Awesome. That's beautiful. So, guys, it's Free Gift Friday, and I understand a little birdie told me that you have a gift to give away. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do. I am giving away 60 minutes. It is a breakthrough coaching session with me so that you can have your aha moment and start to catapult yourself to the next level.
Wonderful. So, I'm going to give you a little job to do, and that is to give us a number from 1 to 10. Just pick a number, any number. What's the number?
3.
3. And your winner today is Suzanne Cesena. And I think you actually know her. So this
I
is
do.
not at all a coincidence. I personally don't believe there are any coincidences,
Oh.
only little divine fun moments.
Mm-hmm.
So our winner for Free Gift Friday today is Suzanne. And I invite you,
Beautiful.
Suzanne, to go ahead and connect with Dee to claim your prize. I want to say thank you to you, Dee, for showing up here today and sharing with us your story, sharing with us your new book, which I invite everybody to head on over to Amazon and download. Can you just hold it up again so everybody can
Oh, most
see it?
definitely. Your daily dose of positivity.
And who doesn't need that? Like having a quote for every single day to just get you on the right track. That's
Yes.
a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's a beautiful book too. I'm having a little bit of book envy over here. Very lovely. Head on over, get Dee's new book. Leave her a positive 5-star review, guys. I mean, even if
Yes,
you
please.
haven't had a chance to read through the entire book and you know Dee, just hop on over once you've downloaded her book or bought the paper copy. Leave her a 5-star review. Your 5-star review, I'm not asking you to say anything that is not 100% true. I'm asking you to say, oh, I know Dee. She is great. 5 stars. I feel like that's an appropriate review right there. So
Yes.
definitely support her new book. I think if you are a Kindle Unlimited member, you can download it for
Mhm.
free as well. So this could literally cost you no money just to support one of our Ladies Power Lunch members. I invite you all to hop on over and definitely do that. And of course, check out her website. Your website again, Dee?
It is a dose of positivity, DEE.com.
Excellent, excellent.
Mm.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Jen. Thanks to all our viewers and listeners over on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. And just a reminder, it's Friday, and the Friday party continues at 6 o'clock tonight. We're gonna launch into our Ladies Night In, our Ladies Power Lunch Ladies Night In, and we have Hannah who will be walking us through a gourmet recipe, which is going to be very simple and very easy to prepare. And we also have Lynn, who is going to be sharing with us her clean crafted wine. So it's going to be a fun, fun evening. I invite you guys to go get all your work done, get it out of the way, and then come on back over at 6 o'clock and join us because the fun continues then. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.